Hold on, Vince. My legs don't work, but that check gonna be lit. Man, that Elimination Chamber had me fucked up. I can't walk and shit, but I'm telling you, let me get my check. Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna preview Elimination Chamber because why not? Now, I've always been one of those people that have said there should be no pay-per-view between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania because in all reality, it's just not necessary. We got a couple of chamber matches and some other matches as well. This show could be decent, but let's preview and predict everything that it's going to have to offer. Elimination Chamber preview. Let's run it. Prepare for the ultimate spot fest and a clusterfuck of a show with 3 chamber matches that are just not necessary. This is going to be your Elimination Chamber preview and predictions. We have 6 matches on the card. Let's assume that one of these get elected at the pre-show. Maybe that will be one of the tag team matches, especially Street Profits and Rollins and Murphy. We know that that won't be a pre-show match, but it's not a match that I care about or anybody cares about because I could easily see WWE taking the titles and putting them right back on Rollins and Murphy, and I honestly feel like that's what they're going to do. This card is really interesting. 3 Elimination Chamber matches is overkill. It is not necessary. Why do I have to sit through 3 chamber matches? I think personally there should be 1, maybe 2. We don't need 3, okay? It is supposed to be a unique concept, but that doesn't mean we need 14 of the matches on one night. Because we know that, especially the tag team chamber is just going to be a spot fest. There's not going to be any wrestling. I'm just telling you this right now. I'm not saying it doesn't have potential, and I think that at least 2 out of 3 of these chamber matches will be decent, but I don't think that it's necessary, because it's not. It's just not. Like I said, 6 matches on this card. This pay-per-view is completely not necessary. I never thought it was necessary, especially with being so close to WrestleMania. Now, I love the Elimination Chamber, and I love the match itself, but again, it's not necessary between, you have the Royal Rumble, then you have Elimination Chamber 2 weeks later. There was literally a 5-second gap between your Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. And then you have, obviously, WrestleMania. Now, WrestleMania build's been decent. The shows have been hit or miss. For the most part, the shows haven't been that good, but some of the things that have happened on the show have been decent. So let's preview this card. The first match is probably the match I feel like for some reason is going to open up the show. With there being 3 Elimination Chamber matches, you know that there's probably going to be one of them that opens up the show because they have to spread out the card. The Women's Elimination Chamber match. This is probably the most obvious pick of this decade, and this decade just begun, so I sound really stupid when I say that. Natalya versus Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler versus Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Sarah Logan. I can't see anybody besides Shayna Baszler winning this Elimination Chamber match because it just doesn't make sense. Becky and Shayna have had their feud, and we wanted them to fight at WrestleMania, and now that they have the Women's Elimination Chamber for the winner to fight Becky Lynch, it would make 0 sense for Shayna Baszler to not be the winner. I don't know how they would progress to do it if they had someone other than Shayna Baszler win and had Becky or somebody screw over Baszler. But again, it's Elimination Chamber. There's no rules. So for me, it has to be an obvious Shayna Baszler pick because, again, it doesn't... Why... It's just, the whole pay-per-view, it's just not necessary. It's not. Because you're going to have... You know what? Forget it. Anyway, Shayna Baszler will win this match. Asuka's not winning. Ruby Riott's not winning. Sarah Logan, God forbid she were to win. Natalya's not winning, and Liv Morgan is not winning. Okay? Shayna Baszler wins this match, and we get the WrestleMania match that we would actually be excited to see. Intercontinental Championship. This match is absolutely hideous to look at. Braun Strowman was given a title in WWE 2 years too late, and it was the Intercontinental title. He is taking on 3 men in his Intercontinental title defense. Shinsuke Nakamura, who is the former Intercontinental Champion. Cesaro and Sami Zayn. This is, if I'm correct, Sami Zayn's first in-ring appearance in quite some time. And a handicap match would probably be a nice way to incorporate him into that. This is a 3-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't really understand who cares about this match.
Now, Braun Strowman has the title, and he's just had the title for a little bit. As easy as I would be to say that Braun Strowman is going to run through all three of these men, I don't think he's going to have it that way. I think that this is going to be a fuck finish, and I think that Braun Strowman's going to have some help because I think he's going to be getting his ass beat at some point in this match. So what I think might happen is this is a really hard match to predict because I don't really think that there's a clear favorite, especially with it being 3-on-1. I'm going to go against what most people would think, and I think Braun Strowman's going to find a way to retain his title. I think that it's not that obvious, but I think it would almost be too obvious to have Shinsuke Nakamura win the Intercontinental title back. So I'm going to go with Braun Strowman to win or to retain the Intercontinental Championship in this 3-on-1 cluster shit of a match. SmackDown Tag Team Championship Elimination Chamber. The Miz and John Morrison just won the SmackDown Tag Team titles at the Royal Rumble. And despite all the competition in this, I don't see them losing. I think they will use different types of tactics, and I think that there are a lot of talented tag teams that are in this match that will progress toward making it a very interesting match. Again, this is not going to be a wrestling match. It's going to be a spot fest. I'm expecting people to dive off of the pods. I'm expecting a lot of various different things to be used. It is The Miz and John Morrison, current title holders, against The New Day, The Usos, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, and Ziggler and Rude. Ziggler and Rude are not winning. Lucha House Party definitely aren't winning. The Usos probably won't win. The New Day won't win. Now, what makes it interesting here is I could actually see Heavy Machinery winning, especially with everything that's been going on. It would be interesting to see Heavy Machinery win the tag team titles, especially with the whole Mandy Rose situation. So that would be my flying under the radar pick, but I think the safe pick and the pick I'm going to go with is The Miz and Morrison to retain their SmackDown tag team titles. I'm expecting a lot of spots in this match. This will be a fun match to show someone that's never watched wrestling before, probably because it will just be a spot fest, and it will probably be something that's fun to see in person. This show is also in Philadelphia, by the way. Wells Fargo Center, for those of you that are East Coast natives, is in your area. I don't know if tickets are still available. I'm sure they are. It might be a nice little show to go to, especially if you've never seen Elimination Chamber. Again, everyone has different things that are on their bucket list: WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, SummerSlam, etc. This should be a spot fest, but I would think that The Miz and Morrison are going to retain. And I think that, believe it or not, the final tag team is going to be Heavy Machinery going against The Miz and Morrison. This will probably be the best match of the night, but it will probably also have another fuck finish. AJ Styles versus Alistair Black has gold and classic written all over it. All over it. It's a no disqualification match that has been set up in recent weeks. Following the beatdown of the OC. Now, the problem with this match is that it's a no disqualification match. So you're probably expecting the OC to get involved at some point and screw Alistair Black when he's on the brink of victory. Just look at this match as a whole. Alistair Black and AJ Styles are capable of a 5-star match. And I think that this will be the best match of the night. And this is the match that I definitely won't want to miss. I just have a strong fear of a screwy finish. Or, what could also happen, this is something that I thought, AJ Styles could be on the brink of victory and Undertaker could screw him over and really dig into that build of the WrestleMania match. But I'm going to go with AJ Styles to win because I just think the OC are going to screw this up. They've already been beat down by the Undertaker. We haven't really seen that much of them, but I think that AJ Styles is going to get this win, and this could be a very, very good match. Raw Tag Team titles. For some reason, I have a bad feeling about this match. It's the Street Profits who have just won the Raw Tag Team titles, taking on Rollins and Murphy. And I have a strong feeling that I think that they're going to lose those titles, and Rollins and Murphy are going to get them right back. Wouldn't make any sense, but when does WWE ever make any kind of sense? Street Profits versus Rollins and Murphy for the Raw Tag Team titles. Regular match. We've seen it so many times. This could potentially be your second to last match of the night. Again, there's no match order on the preview of this. But I'm going to go with Rollins and Murphy to win the titles right back because that would be the perfect FU to the Street Profits, and that's something that they would probably do. Last match to go over, which is weird because this is probably be one of the first matches to open the show. Andrade Cien Almas defending his U.S. title, and if I'm correct, this might be the first time since his drug suspension against Humberto Carrillo. They kept him with the title on because I don't think, even with the drug suspension, it would have been the right thing to do to take it off of him. I still think he's going to retain. I think that this could be a good match. Again, the U.S. The U.S. title scene has been very small, so there hasn't been too many outside factors. We had Rey Mysterio for a little bit, Andrade, Humberto, Angel Garza also. I really am liking what I'm seeing from Angel Garza recently, and I think that regardless of what happens in this feud, I think he should be next in line, and I think that Angel Garza is just a right fit, and I think that it is almost time for him to get a title on his hands. And I know it's very early, but I think the U.S. title would fit Angel Garza perfectly. I think what they should do is have Andrade versus Angel Garza at WrestleMania, because that would be a very, very good match. I'm going with Andrade to retain the U.S. title. These are all the matches announced as of right now. Again, this card is decent, but again, it's not something where I would say, wow, this was a fantastic show. I think there'll be a lot of spots and a lot of people that are hurting Monday morning. This was a rather short preview and prediction. My WrestleMania preview and prediction, when that does come out, will be much longer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. The pleasure is always